20-minute cooking school where we share all of the quick, fast, easy cooking tips that make your life better, more fun, easier, more silky, luxurious, and all those other things. Thanks for joining me today. As we think about Halloween coming up next week, we are, I'm Claire. Hi, I'm Claire. Claire, welcome to Claire Tansey's Kitchen. Listen, Halloween is less than a week away, and so I thought we'd talk about garlic. All things relating to garlic, how to peel it, how to this it, how to that it, but most importantly, a trick I've learned recently for cooking with garlic that means that you never will ever burn the garlic. Have you ever had burnt garlic? That is no fun. Let us start. Garlic. If you're with me live, tune in. Let me know what your favorite way to cook garlic is. I think my favorite way is either the recipe I'm doing today, which is garlic spinach, or garlic spaghetti, which is like the cornerstone recipe in my book coming out next year. So when you're buying garlic, oh, look at that. You want to squeeze it. Basically, I think when you're buying anything, you want to squeeze it. Sweatshirts, cantaloupes, cars, you want to squeeze that thing. Squeeze it. It should feel really, really hard when you squeeze it. This time of year is the best time for garlic. This is when it's fresh. It's usually pretty local. And you'll find nice big meaty cloves like this, either from where you're from or maybe from California. They're all kind of uniform in size. And then later on in the year, things get crazy. Now here's a clove, here's a head. Was I saying clove? Because I meant head. Here's a head of garlic that I was already working on. And the annoying thing about garlic being a natural product is that some of them are little and some of them are like, are enormous. Now, generally speaking, in recipes, if you call for 1 clove of garlic and you have either this little mini or this little maxi, you kind of want somewhere in between, right? So somewhere in between is going to be ideal. So that'd be 1 clove of garlic. For this recipe, I want like tons of garlic. So I'm going to use a bunch. And I'm going to talk about a few different ways to puree your garlic. So what I'm doing today is, I realized this recently. When you're cooking with garlic, if you've done this before, it's really delicate. And it has a tendency to burn. Especially if you do what I always suggest, which is preheat your pan before you get the oil in or the butter in, and then get the oil hot, and then you put your vegetables or meat in. The only exception to that is garlic. You do not want garlic to burn, and so you want to put the garlic into essentially a cold pan. So what I'm going to do is I've got my ginormous, because I'm doing for spinach, I'm going to do like bagged spinach, cheap, healthy, delicious. And I've got my ginormous, biggest, widest frying pan here, which, oh, that was loud, sorry. So that's on the stove, but the stove is not on. And into there, I'm going to put a lump of butter. Now, I used a couple of tablespoons. I use about a tablespoon of butter per bag. So, no, 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons of butter. You can use oil if you want. I love the way butter and garlic taste together. So, and this is really a simple dish. This is like a very, very easy, simple side dish that you could have with anything from roast chicken to like plain pasta. Oh, that's good, Mike. Yes, my cousin Mike says good garlic is heavier than it looks. That is actually true of most good produce. Something like a lemon or a squash, if it's heavier than it looks, it's generally good. Oh, there's the oven. We're roasting a chicken tonight. We're going to have this with our roast chicken. So yeah, cold pan, cold butter. Why am I making so much noise today? This is a library. Turn it down. Okay, now garlic. So I've got I'm going to kind of lower this so you can see the cloves. Don't keep your garlic in the fridge. Keep it out on the counter. What else can I tell you about garlic? Oh, here's a really sad mangled up clove from the edge. It's going in the bin. But these are huge. Look at the size of these. Now, if, for example, I had this guy. Now, gosh, the thing is with garlic, you know garlic is called hard neck garlic, and there's a reason, because oh, now I've gone crooked. The neck, which is the bit that comes up through the middle, is really hard. Hard neck garlic, that is the type of garlic that this is. Okay, here is a more ordinary size piece of garlic. And look, it's actually peeling itself. That's fun. But say your garlic does not peel itself. How can you peel this garlic? Well, of course, you can whap it with the side of your knife and get the peel off. Or you can come to the dark side and get yourself a garlic press, and then you don't have to peel garlic cloves anymore when you want to put them through the garlic press. What? I know. So you take your, see, look, it's got his skin on. Skin, okay, some of the skin is coming off, but I'm not going to waste this guy. In. Okay, let's do the live action shot here. You can see that. Dun, 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 dun. What comes out? Pure garlic. And what stays behind? Pure skin and a little bit of garlic. I will give you that, but I am willing to give up that little tiny bit of garlic. And you know how frugal I am. I'm willing to give up that garlic because means I don't have to peel it. So, isn't that awesome? Isn't that just, I think I'll do another one. Let's do another one. Should we do the live action shot again? It is a Facebook Live cooking school, and we are squeezing garlic unpeeled through the garlic press. Get up. It does tend to, it's good, you got spray all over the thing. So let's just get this out of here. Good. And then again. See? Out. Now, the complaint I hear from most people about garlic presses is that they're hard to clean. So, or they're hard to use. So I only recently became converted. And I would tell you that most of the way that I became converted was finding this particular garlic press. This is, and I have no affiliation to these guys, they're not paying me for this. This is an OXO Good Grips garlic press. It's got the muscle that you need to really, sure Bonnie, I'll give you a tour of my kitchen one day. We'll do that for one of our lives. It's really, you're pretty much seeing all of it, but we can go through and see some of my stuff. Maybe another day when things aren't quite so messy. So this thing has got enough to actually, like to squeeze a whole unpeeled garlic clove. And then if I just, let's go over here to my sink. I literally just rinse it. I don't wash it. It's got this, so you see it's got that little grid there, and the grid just goes right around. I know that most garlic presses have that, but for some reason this one just seems to work. Now I will tell you this. All right, one little piece is sticking to the side. Doesn't usually happen, but I will tell you this. You sort of have to do it soon after you have pressed the garlic, because when the garlic dries out and, like, say it gets caked into those little holes that you've pressed it through, that's when things start to get difficult to clean. But that kind of goes for almost anything. Also, these, if you never do anything wet on a rasp, you just gotta rinse that soon, because whew, that stuff gets stuck in there. Okay, so that is garlic press. And I love my garlic press, but as I said, it's really because I found the right garlic press. I have gone through lots of really crappy garlic presses, but this is the one that I love. I think it was 25 bucks, so it wasn't that cheap. I'm pretty sure I use it 4 times a week, if not 7. And I know I'm very much against like single use tools, but I love this guy. Now, speaking of not single use tools, and speaking of my wonderful microplane rasp, I will also show you, be prepared to be amazed by me grating garlic. Now, I'm going to grate garlic, which is through this, which is a great way, so funny, which is a great way to get a really fine puree of garlic. A lot of people find that when you grate garlic, it becomes too intense, too strong, too bitter. I gotta say, I'm about to cook this for quite a long time. How much time have I got? 10 minutes. I'm gonna have to turn the heat on in a second. I'm gonna cook it quite long and slow, so I'm not worried about bitterness. It's all gonna sort of mellow out very nicely. So, how do you do this? Well, you can also be afraid for your fingers, but let's just grab, let's grab a paring knife. And this is good for like these ginormous cloves, like that guy. I mean, what can I compare this to? I'll compare this to an apple, and that's a large apple. That's a huge clove of garlic. So with this, I actually just use a paring knife, and I take off the bottom, being careful not to remove any of my fingers. And the great thing about garlic at this time of year is that the garlic itself is really fresh and kind of moist, but the skin is really dry, so the peel comes off really easily. Okay, let's go back over here to the danger zone. Heat is still not on. And then I just, Now this guy, my rasp, one of the most wonderful tools in a kitchen. I use it for everything from Parmesan to garlic to fresh nutmeg to ginger to other cheeses to chocolate. It's amazing. It's always sharp. It's so handy. And yes, it turns garlic into a puree. Now, the only thing with this is I find at a certain point I get down to kind of here and I gotta quit because I'm getting a little scared of grating some fingers. So you see what kind of a puree it is? It's super, super wet and fine. But you know what? In some applications, that is exactly what you want. I find it's comparable to the garlic press, the grater. If I had to choose one over the other, you wouldn't make me choose between my two favorite children, would you? Okay, that is garlic. You let me know what other questions you have about garlic. Other myths that we've heard about garlic. Have you heard that you can peel garlic by shaking it in a mason jar? I tried it myself, didn't work at all. Anybody got that? Then there was the thing that went viral on the internet last year, which was like 2 stainless steel bowls, and you shake the life out of them, and then the garlic just somehow managed to peel itself. I can't make that work. Might need to work on my upper body strength. That might be the problem, but if I can't do it, I'm pretty sure my 76-year-old mother can't do it. Oh shit, I shouldn't have told everybody your name. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said shit. Oh boy. Okay, let's reset here. I'm going to start cooking the garlic. So I'm going to put this whole pan on low, like medium low. And what the secret here is that, because remember I'm trying to cook this garlic really softly and slowly so that it mellows out. So it all just gets really mellow. And so what's going to happen here is as the pan heats up and as the butter melts, the garlic is going to get hot really, really slowly. And that means it's just not going to burn, which is like perfect, fantastic. And I use this method for all kinds of green vegetables. So say green beans, broccolini, rapini, kale. Today I'm going to do spinach, snap peas, frozen peas. With most of those vegetables, everything except kale, I kind of blanch it first, which means plunging the vegetable into boiling water, boiling salted water. And then as soon as it's just tender crisp, like barely even tender, you take it out of the boiling water and you plunge it into an ice bath. And that stops the cooking. And then you drain it and you can kind of let them be, like let the green beans sit cold for most of the day. Then when your dinner guests have arrived, or the chicken comes out of the oven, you just do this bit. Slowly cook the garlic, then you add in the green beans with the garlic, they get hot again. You're not stressed because you've had a cocktail, I hope. And it's just a great way to do vegetables. A little bit of garlic, you can put a little lemon in here as well. But it's really just a lovely, simple treatment for basically any vegetable. I only talked about green vegetables, but it's great for like not green vegetables too. Turnip, rutabaga, cauliflower, isn't it? Anyway. So, okay, so look at this. The butter still isn't completely melted. So this is medium low on my gas stove, which is, like if I show you what high is, medium, like crazy low is just there, but I'll just put it on low. So the butter still isn't completely melted. And what's going to happen here is, well, the garlic is just starting to smell good. Ah, delightful. But I want this to cook really, really, I'm going to turn the heat up just a titch so that we can kind of get a better sense of what's happening here. But just very, very slowly. So what you're not getting here with this garlic is the sizzle. And if you've ever taken a class with me, you know that I love the sizzle, and I live for the sizzle. The sizzle meaning that when you put something into a pan, when you're about to saute it, it goes, yeah. That's where caramelization happens. That's where browning happens. I'm just checking the time, 4.5 minutes. That's where a lot of flavor development happens. And that's great. That's great for onions. That's great for meat. That's great for mushrooms. That's great for so many things. But garlic, you don't want to burn, because when garlic burns, it gets yuck-o-rama. All right, so turning this back down again, because now it's getting a little too hot. A little too hot. And so that was like, how many cloves of garlic was that? That was 3 huge cloves of garlic. That's quite a bit. But you see, it's starting to sizzle now. And I got the heat nice and low, and it's just gonna really cook very, very slowly. So 2 things, it's going to mellow the garlic. You know, it's gonna be kind of both mellowed and very full in flavor. And it's not gonna let the garlic burn. I sort of forgot what I was doing. If you have any questions about garlic, fire away. I do want to say that 2 bags of spinach will serve maybe 2 people. You know what spinach is like. You know, this will be a pound of spinach. It's 2 250 gram bags. The garlic is really nice and soft, but it's not colored at all now. Has not taken on any color. And so I'm just dumping my friend here in. And I know you're thinking, Claire, oh my gosh, oh so cool, too much. But not to worry, my friends, not to worry even a little bit. Because of course, what's gonna happen here, once I get the garlic, the spinach clamped down a bit, is, of course, this is gonna shrink down to nothing. I'm gonna do about a teaspoonful of kosher salt. I know it looks like a lot, but it needs it. So you just sort of give it a bit of a push around, and then this happens. I know you're saying that you told me it was going to be 2 bags of spinach. Well, like there's no room, right? So I'm going to wait. Once that wilts, I'm going to open this baby, add it, cook it. Again, we're staying on medium-low, nothing happening. Slowly, slowly, slowly cooking it. As soon as the spinach gets completely wilted, then I'll take the cover off and let some of the liquid evaporate, add a bit of pepper, and squeeze a lemon. Amazing, lovely, garlicky spinach. Don't be shy with the salt, don't be shy with the garlic, don't be shy with the butter. That's sort of the rule of cooking vegetables this way. But I hope that that has been helpful for you regarding garlic. Oh, one other thing about garlic. Do you remember, I love this anecdote. Do you remember in the 1990s, there was a late night infomercial for this magical bar of fake soap that would get the smell of garlic and onions off of your hands? Well, it was made of stainless steel. Stainless steel will take odors off your fingers. So here's a stainless steel knife, and say I've got garlic all over my hands and my hands are gross. All I do is when I'm washing my knife, I just run my fingers along the not sharp edge of my blade. So there. And that will get the garlic smell off my fingers. Guys, I have lots more to say about garlic, so it's probably gonna have to go into a whole other episode. But at this time, I only have 58 seconds left, and that will be the end of the 20-minute cooking school. Let's do a quick check on the spinach here. Oh, it smells wonderful and garlicky in here. Things are getting very, very broken down. You can smell the garlic, but it is not burning. So I'm gonna just keep this, you know, I didn't add any water or anything to this. It's just going to release its natural moisture. And that's why I have the lid on, so that the moisture of the spinach will come and kind of soften things up. Well, I know, Mike Tansy, but you're a tansy, and tansies are made of garlic, so that's why you like the smell of garlic on your fingers, I would say. Yeah, so just to recap, use a garlic press, but get a good one, or use a grater. That's also fine. Chefs will laugh at you, but I won't, because it'll make your life easier and make your cooking that much more delicious. Forget the sizzle when it comes to garlic. Just put it in a cold pan and let it heat up very gently. That's 20 minutes, y'all. I'm going to post a recipe for this wonderful garlic spinach on my site, and I will tab it here in Facebook. Until then, I will see you next week. I don't even know what I'm doing next week yet, so if you have any suggestions or questions, let me know. Talk to you guys soon. Bye!